Boosie just got himself in some really big trouble. It's bad. You know you done messed up when the Attorney General of Louisiana is coming out and letting the public know, come hell or hot water, she's going to hold Boosie accountable. Oh, you done messed up now, Boosie. You done messed up now. Now, why is everybody on Boosie's head? Why is the Attorney General coming out and promising to hold Boosie accountable? Well, we have to go to Southern A&M to really understand what's going on. See, this story starts with Caleb Wilson.
University student has died, and police are working to see if a fraternity ritual might be to blame. The student, 20-year-old Caleb Wilson, reportedly collapsed at this Breck Park off of Sherwood Forest Boulevard. A source tells our team that it all happened during a fraternity ritual around 3 in the morning. Wilson was taken to Baton Rouge General on Bluebonnet, where he was pronounced dead. An autopsy is being performed to determine the exact cause of death. Wilson was a member of Southern's Human Jukebox Marching Band. Southern University released a statement saying, quote, Southern University is aware of an off-campus incident that may have resulted in the death of a student, Caleb Wilson. The campus community extends condolences to his family, classmates, and loved ones. Southern is cooperating fully with the Baton Rouge Police Department.
Obviously, we know Baton Rouge is synonymous with Boosie. That's his hometown. That's his city. He's king of Baton Rouge. Now, this Caleb Wilson story is really sad and unfortunate. So Caleb Wilson was trying to join a fraternity. He was going through hazing. They took the hazing a tad bit too far, and Caleb Wilson ended up passing out and passing away. However, when the police got there, the people who was in charge of the hazing, they let everybody know, hey, bro, lie to the police, say nothing was happening. He just passed out, started hyperventilating. So obviously, right, that got some niggas arrested, right? Because you can't lie to the police. I don't care how smart y'all think y'all are, bro. Y'all are not about to trick the police. All right, so some niggas try to trick the police. It didn't work out, and they got arrested in droves.
McCrae has been arrested now in connection to the alleged hazing death of 20-year-old Southern student Caleb Wilson. According to investigators, McCrae is a former Southern student himself, member of the Omega Phi Psi fraternity. He's facing charges of criminal hazing and manslaughter. Baton Rouge police say there will be a news conference about the investigation 10:30 this morning. You'll be able to watch it right here on WAFB. Also bringing you updates online as well. We're told officials will be considering charging possibly at least 3 people who were present that night, so more arrests could follow.
If you've been to college, you understand how obnoxious these fraternity dudes are. I feel like nobody really likes dudes in fraternities besides dudes who are in fraternities and the women, right? Bro, like dudes walk around with their tongue out all the time, right? Like lathered up in oil, shirts always off, dancing, gyrating their hips. But somehow they find time to smash all our women, right? So, I've never, had any love for them. So when I seen this, I wasn't surprised, all right? So they arrested one, they arrested another, they arrested another. So people got held accountable for the Caleb Wilson thing, but it was still very unfortunate, bro, because this kid didn't have to lose his life, right? He lost his life because some very irresponsible people was in charge of him.
To arrest warrants, McCrae, Smith, and Thurman led the hazing ritual that night at this warehouse leased by Smith's father. Each had a specific number of pledges lined up to punch in the chest 4 times. Witnesses say McCrae was the one who punched Caleb Wilson, causing him to collapse and become unresponsive. The group went to check on Caleb, made the decision to change him out of his clothes and bring him to the hospital 10 to 15 minutes after he collapsed. At no point did anyone call 911.
Very unfortunate. It took place in Boosie's hometown. Now, this is where Boosie comes in and begins to make some very apparent mistakes that now currently has him in a very sticky situation where the Attorney General is promising to hold him accountable. Boosie hosted his annual Boosie Bash on March 18th. Now, he hosted it at the Southern University Mini Dome. So Boosie, be it he's hosting it at the university, he decided he was going to show love to Caleb Wilson, right? He was going to do something to honor Caleb Wilson, and that will come in the form of a scholarship. He would say that a portion of the proceeds from Boosie Bash will go to the scholarship in Caleb Wilson's honor. Huge flyers like this began to make its way across social media on the promoters' pages, on Boosie pages. And the huge flyer was a Caleb Wilson Memorial Scholarship Fund sponsored by the Boosie Bash at the very bottom. Now, Boosie would also say that a portion of the proceeds from Boosie Bash will go to the scholarship fund. Now, that was supposed to entice people to buy more, tickets because the tickets were going to a good cause. Boosie Bash has always been an event that's packed out, sold out. It's always been an event that has no issues selling tickets. And even me being armed with that, I look at this flyer a little side-eye, bro. Like, it's kind of like, because if you wanted to do a scholarship fund, you're a Boosie. You can put up 100,000 or 20,000 or 40,000 to say, hey, bro, buy more tickets. A portion of the tickets you're going to buy is going to go to Caleb Wilson. It comes across as a tad bit nasty, and it comes across as using this man's death to promote a concert. And we know Boosie's concert, man. It's like a cesspool of degeneracy. But I don't feel like Boosie's heart was in the wrong place. I do feel like Boosie felt like he was doing a good thing, but the optics of this is still bad. But Boosie will go on the news and ensure people that he was working right alongside Caleb Wilson's family, right? His father specifically.
You're actually working with the Human Jukebox and you're working with his family to get this scholarship going, and some of the funds are going to be from the concert are going to be going back into this scholarship, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do something special for him because it's a tragic loss.
And I know that you are launching a foundation of scholarship in his name. Is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna try to do something positive because I'm grateful for his dad and all the people who made this work. But we're gonna do something special for him because it's a life lost too short.
I don't want to get into conspiracy theory mode, but I do know that Boosie have a weird relationship with the law enforcement because Boosie beat a murder in Baton Rouge, right? So the law enforcement don't really like Boosie. So I don't know if somebody from the law enforcement contacted the family of Caleb Wilson and let them know, yeah, y'all better not. Because Boosie seemed pretty confident. He seemed pretty ensured that he got the permission from Caleb Wilson family to proceed with using Caleb Wilson name and likeness to promote Boosie Bash, in turn, have some kickback back to the scholarship fund. Well, Caleb Wilson's family spoke out and they said, nah, buddy, right? We ain't never gave no Boosie permission to use our son's name and likeness. He's lying and he's capping.
We start the news tonight with a bombshell allegation dealing with the Boosie Bash and the family of a Southern University fraternity pledge killed in a hazing incident. We first broke the news this afternoon. Attorney General Liz Murrill may seek legal action against one of the most prominent rappers to come from Baton Rouge. Little Boosie headlined Boosie Bash tonight and said some of the proceeds from the concert would go to a scholarship honoring Caleb Wilson. But his family disputes that. The AG says Boosie was using Wilson's name to promote his annual music festival. News 2's Gabby Davis has more on the actions Murrill is calling disgusting. Gabby.
They're treating it as if Caleb Wilson and his name and likeness is the reason why Boosie sold a lot of tickets at Boosie Bash. That's not really the truth, right? And if Boosie was in communication with the family, which he was actually, he didn't lie about that, and we're going to get to that shortly. Boosie didn't lie about being in communication with the family. And based on what they said, and based on what they confirmed took place, bruh, I'll be real, things is looking a little sketchy here, bruh. It kind of feels like somebody got in their ear and let them know, hey, bro, you can get a big settlement check from Boosie. Yo, you can really get a lot of money, bruh. And it feels like they reneged on the conversation they had with Boosie because the attorney general and other people got in their head and they probably seen dollar signs with this situation. Because what would happen is, the attorney general would come out and speak, right? Condemn Boosie, say that she's going after Boosie, but then the family will also confirm some information within that snippet, right? So let's address what I'm talking about.
Well, Attorney General Liz Murrill says Wilson's parents told her they didn't even know the event was happening. In a statement, she goes on to say, Caleb Wilson's parents have advised me that they have not given consent and know nothing about their son's name and image being used to promote this event. They have requested that his name, image, and any reference to a scholarship for him be removed from all promotional materials. I intend to take legal action due to their misappropriation of his name and image to promote their for-profit event.
Merle says her work starts Monday. She says Boosie and his team owe the family an apology.
And I think the promoters just saw an opportunity to promote the event on the backs of people who just suffered an unimaginable loss. Their understanding was that Boosie wanted to contribute and start a scholarship fund at the school and put some money towards starting a scholarship. That was the extent of the conversation that they had with him more than a week ago, and no one ever asked them or even mentioned this event, and no one ever asked them if they could use his name and image to promote the event.
I can't tell somebody how to react if they feel like their son's legacy is being played with. My only plea is if they had Boosie's communication, if they had Boosie's line, if they talked to Boosie as late as last week, then that means they probably still had a means to reach Boosie. Why not reach him directly and figure this out? Why get the attorney general involved? That's where I say it feels like somewhat of a money grab, but again, it's not my place to tell grieving people how to grieve. You feel me? I just feel like maybe handle it with Boosie directly instead of getting the attorney general involved and giving her statements and trying to figure, right? Bro, I'm sure if they would have told Boosie, hey, bro, we don't want our son to be on any flyer promoting Boosie Bash, he would have taken down the flyer. I don't feel like it needed to go to the attorney general for Boosie to be, cooperative, right? Now, Boosie will respond back, and here's what Boosie had to say. Boosie will call this a betrayal of the ages, all right? Boosie will say, it's sad for this lawyer and family to say I promoted my event of someone's passing. My event was promoted on Eventbrite since November 14th. This incident happened a week before my event was to take place. How the F can I capitalize off someone deaf for a concert? That ain't me. A death of a student won't help a concert. It would hurt a concert. Not quite, Boosie. You had me until that part. That's not true. All right. You saying, hey, bro, buying a ticket would help this scholarship fund in honor of Caleb Wilson, which is a very beloved figure right now on campus. That would definitely help the concert. But I'm not saying Boosie wrong. I'm just saying you wrong about that. But it continued, all right? I was asked to help the situation, and that's what I was doing once I made it home. But for y'all to say that y'all are taking legal action against someone who is trying to help y'all is a slap in my face and completely wrong. When keeping it real goes wrong, shaking my head, Baton Rouge, I'm done. Another money grab. This is the ultimate betrayal. Shaking my head. Now, it'll be a betrayal if Boosie really believed when he talked to them, hopping off the phone, Boosie believed that they were cool with him doing this bash. But they're saying, listen, we told you about the scholarship. So maybe Boosie's thought, okay, y'all approved the scholarship, then y'all won't really care how I get the scholarship money. And I feel like that's where like the communication broke down. Boosie thought once you get permission to do a scholarship fund, then why would they be opposed to me making a scholarship fund out of promoting the event under the pretense of if you buy a ticket, you're donating to Caleb Wilson Scholarship Fund. But I do understand that parents, especially parents who were involved and active, are sensitive when it comes to their babies, man. So I can't really blame the parents. But what I would say though regarding this, man, is a conversation could have solved all of this. Getting the attorney general involved, going about it this way, getting lawyers involved, it feels like it's a money grab and it feels like money is to be won here, but I don't know, man. Again, I could be wrong. Definitely check me in the comment section if you disagree. This platform is a platform for us to disagree without getting our panties in a bunch, okay? Let me know in the comment section what do you guys think, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out why Sauce Walker's artist, Say So P, find out why his mom believed that Sauce Walker set him up to get killed. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. Out of here, folks. Peace.